Let me now invite Dr. Kaveh, His Excellency Dr. Kaveh Madani, Vice Minister, Iran. Excellency, you have the floor.
In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful, Mr. President, Executive Director of the UN Environment, honorable ministers, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, allow me at the outset to express my profound gratitude to the people and government of Kenya for their hospitality. I also like to acknowledge the initiative of the UN Environment for orientation of this meeting towards a pollution-free planet. This theme is indeed in line with the national environmental priorities set by our Supreme Leader and President Rouhani's environmental roadmap that is focused on 4 pollution-related topics, namely air quality, sand and dust storms, wetlands, and waste. Excellencies, about 7 million people around the world are losing their lives annually due to air pollution, and that not only affects human health, but also impacts economy and productivity. At the same time, sand and dust storms, as one of the most significant but overlooked environmental problems of the 21st century, is imposing harmful effects on health, livelihood, food security, biodiversity, and ecosystem services, and is causing migration and relocation of people. Drying wetlands, lakes, and water bodies as a result of short-sighted development plans and aggressive water withdrawals is a serious challenge of many developing countries, and one of the major causes of the increasing sand and dust storms around the globe. Waste in various forms is now damaging our health, ecosystems, and oceans. In addition to plastic, the issue of e-waste is another major pollution problem with unknown long-term impacts and that requires our immediate attention. Mr. President, these issues constitute the 4 current environmental priorities of the Islamic Republic of Iran, and we welcome international and regional cooperation to tackle them. We strongly believe in the fact that environmental problems are transboundary and transgenerational and need to be solved through effective international cooperation mechanisms that are fair and not hampered by economic sanctions and politicization. Distinguished colleagues, earlier this year, and in close collaboration with the UN Environment, we hosted the International Conference on Combating Sand and Dust Storms in Tehran to address its challenges and implications on biodiversity and human livelihood. I would like to emphasize on a need for a global response to the issue of sand and dust storms through an international and UN system-wide action to address the major environmental challenge of the 21st century, which we are not yet prepared to properly cope with. In this context, Iran recommends the implementation of paragraph 4 of the resolution on combating sand and dust storms, which has been approved by the Second Committee of the General Assembly in its 72nd session. Ladies and gentlemen, we highly appreciate the efforts of the 3rd UN Environment Assembly to recognize and identify the means to tackle pollution challenges. Nevertheless, let's not forget that the real challenge is in the effective implementation of the recognized solution. We need to bridge the huge gap between science and policy and develop effective solution mechanisms that are financially and socially sustainable and involve the private businesses as well as civil societies. With no doubt, my government remains committed to providing full support for the successful implementation of the outcomes of this meeting towards the global peace, security, and sustainability. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Excellency.